everybody, welcome back to this channel. Now today I want to discuss a movie. It is a non-spoiler movie review for Sinners. So I went and saw the early morning showing, 10:30, bright and early, the first one of the day, and I wanted to watch it and get my thoughts back on you because this movie blew me away. Now, I did a video way back at the start of the year talking about my most anticipated movies of the year, and Sinners was on there. As soon as I heard that Ryan Coogler, who I absolutely adore, I love all of his movies, was doing a vampire flick, I was like, I gotta get in that screen. And the more trailers came up, the more excited I got. And I saw the cast, and I was just so excited, and I was vibrating in my seat, ready to watch this masterpiece. And oh boy, did it live up to the hype for me. Okay, so like I said, non-spoilers. Now, the first teaser trailer was fantastic. The second trailer, it gave quite a bit away with regards to who the vampires are. So I'm not going into too much detail with the vampires themselves because, again, non-spoiler. I know the trailer technically gave away who the vampires are, but if you haven't seen them, because not everybody will watch trailers because they know it might give stuff away, I don't want to be the person that gives it away for you. So we're going to be talking more about the general feel of the movie, how it made me feel, why I think this is a very important movie for cinema, and why I feel like this needs to be seen and heard on the biggest screen possible. That sort of thing. So if you can't already tell by the way I started it off, I absolutely adored this movie. This movie, it nailed everything I wanted and more. This movie was like an event, not to the same extent. When I say events, some people will go and think about Avengers Endgame and like the excitement, or like whatever's going on with Minecraft at the moment and Chicken Jockey. I don't mean that side of things. I mean an event as to like going into a big screen, being just taken away by what's being shown on the movie. That type of thing when I say event. Something that you don't see very often. And we've been very blessed that we've had some fantastic movies come out recently. Off the top of my head, the closest feeling I've had to this would have been Dune Part 2, and just how amazing that made me feel. This is on par with that one, but for me, just a little bit more than that, because we all knew Dune Part 2 was going to be this big epic movie, whereas this one, I feel like if you only saw the first trailer for it, you could be mistaken in thinking you're going to watch a action horror movie, whereas this is so much more, and it blew me away. Now, this showing for 10:30 in the morning, it was pretty packed, and you could tell instantly that the movie got its grips into you and everyone around me, because I'm sure you have it wherever you are. When a movie is very packed, that the screen's packed, the first few moments you get people getting their popcorn all sorted, they're finishing off their discussions, they're putting their phones away, all that sort of thing. So it's kind of like people are unsettled for the first few moments. But as soon as this movie starts, the scene, as soon as you're thrown into it, everyone put their stuff away. They stopped moving. They were just entranced by the way that the movie was shot, the contrast, the colours. It's very bright, especially the first moments of the movie. The sinister score, which I'll talk more about, and just how I think people were expecting it to start off a bit slow and then build up into it, whereas instantly you knew you were in the hands of a great director, and you were about to watch something special just by the first few frames. And you could tell that by how everyone around me reacted, how everyone put their stuff away, how everyone put their phones away, how everyone pushed each other away to zone in on that movie. And for the 2 hours and 20 minutes, there was not a single whisper. It was like when the first Quiet Place came out, where everyone was so entranced by the movie that no one made a peep because they were afraid they were actually in the movie. That was kind of like what it was here, where everyone was just drawn in so much that they didn't want to disturb anything, and it was fantastic. And a large part of this really is, it goes to show just how much music is important with movies and cinema, because there's always been, I mean, a lot of people will kind of say like, you have to pick this or pick that. What would you do? You could only watch TV, or you could only watch movies, or you could only listen to music for the rest of your life. And it's so difficult, because if you take away the score and you take away the music out of movies, it doesn't hit you as hard. And this movie showcases that. Okay, so a big theme of this movie is how the power of a good voice and the power of just good music can bridge the gap between the living and the dead. And that's the theme of this movie. And they had Ludwig Göransson, or Göransson, I can never pronounce his name, very sorry, who obviously Oppenheimer. I think everyone will know him from Oppenheimer. He's done some fantastic stuff as well beforehand, but I think his most recent one, and obviously he won such a big Academy Award for Oppenheimer, and how similar to Oppenheimer, his score was the running heartbeat through that movie. Each moment that was seen on screen was accompanied by such a tense, such a grand score. This movie does that as well, where the mixture of the strings and the guitar, they merge so well that even when not much is happening on screen, the music is amping up. The music is pushing you forward, and you know that something's going to go down. You know that you're getting towards this big point, and the way that the movie's framed works so well with the music, and it's just so awesome. And that's just the score. That's not even the actual music in the film with regards to obviously Sammy, the cousin of the so you have Michael B. Jordan, who plays twin brothers who come back to Mississippi after going to Chicago, and they come and they team up with their little cousin Sammy, and they open up a joint. They open up a bar, like a music place, so people of color can go, this is set in 1932, can go and just be themselves and enjoy a night of drinking and a night of music. And Sammy is the voice. He is the man that has his guitar. He carries his guitar around, and he is the soul of this movie in both the music sense and also the character sense. And he's played amazingly by Miles, who I believe maybe this is like one of his first movies, the first one I've ever seen him in. But he's got it going on. He's got this like raw talent that both singing wise and also acting wise, some of the scenes he has to do, especially later on in the movie, are so compelling, and he has so much with his face, like his facial reactions to stuff. Like, it's really, really awesome. I think everyone does a great job with what they have to do. There's a scene, I don't want to ruin, but there's a scene where he is playing and it merges a lot of different sounds and musical inspirations, especially for like the Black community. And it was just, the music was so loud and it was vibrating the screen, and it was the best cinematic experience I've seen in a long, long time. And that was just with that one scene. It blew me away. You have Hailee Steinfeld as Mary, and I don't want to get too much into that character, but she does a very great way of being, of breaking your heart and making you sympathize with her, and you understand why, you understand why she is the way she is. She looks one thing, but she's a very tough, sturdy character underneath it. You don't want to mess with Mary. And the way she carries herself, it's the best performance I've seen Hailee Steinfeld in for a long, long time. and I like me some Hailee Steinfeld, but this just the stuff she got given and the stuff she does off screen, I was often found myself kind of gravitating towards her character with the things she was doing off screen as well. She just commanded this big presence in this movie, and it was very, very good, very, very well done. Now, horror wise, it kicks on. The second half of this movie is where it goes out into horror, where you get obviously your vampires, you get a lot of blood, and yeah, you got your more classic vampire horror. Whereas the first half is very much leading up to that, and something's going to happen, and the music kind of makes you uneasy anyway, and there's some flashes in there of the horror, but it really is just a character study. It gets you knowing all these characters, it gets you falling in love with all these characters, so then when the shit hits the fan, you're all in. You don't have to think, oh, who's that guy again, or do I really care about him? I didn't have much character with him. You have that first half to solely with these characters that you can get all of the information you need, and you can fall in love with them. So then when the second half hits, you're locked in and you're going, and it's such a great time. I thought the fight choreography was really, really cool. There's some great camera work, some great scenes in there. I love the contrast with the colours, with it being at night, and the way that they show obviously the sun and the sun rising and all that towards the end. Beautiful things to look at. And I think this movie is very, very important to cinema now, because there's so many movies that come out where you can say, I could watch that at home. I could get the same experience at home with your surround sound and your big screen. There are a lot of movies that, whilst I will always see it at the cinema, I can understand why people would be like, I'm staying at home and watching it. Whereas this movie is really one that is very much like, you will not get the same experience at home. You need to see it on the biggest screen possible, with the loudest speakers possible, and you need to see that in that you need to see that in that surrounding. If you put yourself at home where you can get distracted by your phone, you maybe can't have your bass on too loud because you're living next door to someone, your screen maybe isn't great with dark colours because it's very dark in some places, it will take it out for you. You won't get that same amazing just power that this movie gives you at the cinema. And I think this movie is so important for cinemas now, because cinemas, they need to make money now. You saw Minecraft, an awful movie, making a lot of money. You're seeing movies come in. It's going to be a massive summer for cinema. It really is. You got your Jurassic World. You got your 2 Marvel movies. You got Superman. You got Mission Impossible. You got Final Destination, Megan. You've got very big stacked a few months, but if people still with those big movies aren't coming, it's going to be an important one. You need people, cinemas need people to go, basically, and this is a big telling, because if they don't get people through the seats for these big months, it's hard to see where they would. So a movie like this to kick off the blockbuster season, it's something that you need to see at the cinema. It really, really is. And I personally love this movie. It's my favourite one of the year so far. One of my favourites so far in the decade. I will be seeing this again, and I will probably be doing an update if it's changed, if maybe it doesn't hit as well the second time. But just the experience of seeing it, how it made you feel when you sat with it, you're watching it. It has 2 credit scenes. It has a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene. Mid-credit scene, you're going to want to stay and watch. Post-credit scene, you can watch it at home, It's not an amazing one. Your mid-credit scene, though, is an epilogue of the movie, so you're going to want to watch that. But just I've not felt this experience before in a cinema for a very, very long time. And it's just, I missed it. It's one of those movies that makes you realise why you love film. It really does. So that's how I felt watching Sinners. Let me know in the comments down below, are you going to see Sinners? Are you going to go and watch it? Have you watched it? Did you enjoy it? Let me know all the way in the bottom of the comment section. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for all movie related content. Follow me on these social medias as well, where you'll get more up-to-date stuff with my movie collection, all of that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Sophia Margaritelli, and I'll see you at the next video. Ciao, ciao.